it's Haley, and today I'm going to be doing a spoiler-free review for Between Shades of Grey by Ruta Sepetys. So this book is a YA historical fiction that starts in Lithuania in 1941, and it starts when the main character, Lena, and I don't know if you would say Lena or Lena, I'll say Lena. Lena and her brother and her mother and her father, they have all been captured by the Soviet secret police, and they are being taken to these concentration camps. But Lena and her mother and brother are separated from her father, so she is trying to find her father as she's moving from concentration camp to concentration camp on her way to Siberia, and she's using her skills with art and drawing to try and leave clues behind to lead him to her so they can be reunited once this is all over. The writing of this book was really beautiful. I found it really did justice to the story. It was, the form really reflected the function, and I really love when that happens. I found that it was really lyrical, but it wasn't too, it was simplistic, but not too simplistic. I just felt like it really fit the story well, and it kind of made the story available universally, which I really liked because it is a story that you don't hear often. I mean, you don't hear much about what happened in Lithuania in World War II. So I think the fact that this book does cover that, and it does so in a way that makes it available to a wide array of people, was really awesome. The characters of this book were really enjoyable for me. I really liked Lena. I found that she was a character who you really got to delve into her mind and kind of see how she's trying to fathom the things that are being done to her and her family, and she's trying to accept this, and she's really just trying to survive, but she's also trying to be a teenage girl at the same time. And you saw how her art was really, it acted as this escape to her, but she kind of held out hope throughout the whole book, which I found to be really interesting. I mean, I wouldn't say that she was completely optimistic, but she never really gave up on finding her father. She always kept on trying, and she kept on working towards that, and she didn't let all of the terrible things that were happening to her and around her discourage her from that goal. So I think that really spoke a lot to her as a character and how she kind of thought about things. I also really enjoyed seeing Lena's mother. Her mother really was just trying to protect her children, but I can't even imagine how hard it is to be in a situation like that where you want to protect your children, but you're completely powerless against what is going on. And I thought that you really saw that in the mother figure. You saw how she was trying to keep her children safe, but she really couldn't do anything, and any opportunity that she had to try and fix things for them, she took it, and I really loved that. Lena's brother, I also think, was a really interesting character because you got to see him develop from a young boy to what this whole situation made him become. He was really forced into growing up, and I just think it was the saddest thing, but that happened often. I mean, this is based on true events, so that happened often, and I think that's kind of part of the reason why the story stuck with me and why his character really struck a chord with me, because he never really got a childhood. I mean, that privilege was taken away from him, and you really saw that in this book. The plot of this book was amazing because I was kind of expecting, since it is a YA historical fiction, I was expecting it to not be nearly as brutal as it was. Not that it's intolerable, but she doesn't sugarcoat things at all, and I loved that because this is not a story that should be sugarcoated. She tells it blatantly what happened, and there are some graphic details, and it's just telling the story of a mass genocide, so it can't be sugarcoated. I mean, that would just be dismissing it, and I really loved that she didn't do that. She told the story as blatantly as she could, but she also told it in a way that made it accessible to everyone, and I really enjoyed that. I also really liked how romance was not a focus at all, because I think if it was, I would have hated this book because I would have thought it was really diminishing the actual story, but romance plays a tiny role in it, and the role that romance does play is understandable because because she's a teenage girl, so she's just starting to like boys and everything. So it really made sense that she would have start developing feelings for people. It just really made sense. So it was one of those instances where there is a little bit of romance, but it really made sense for the story and it wasn't inappropriate. I think if it had been a main central part of the plot, then it would have been a little bit inappropriate and I really wouldn't have loved it. But anyways, the whole concept of this book was fantastic. I think she really did a great job of educating with this book, because I would not have known about this if I hadn't read it, and now I know all about it, and it just is heartbreaking and tragic, but the way that the story is told is just absolutely beautiful. I also really loved the idea of her art and having this escape that really they couldn't take away from her. No matter how hard they tried and how hard they tried to take everything away from her, she still had her drawing and her passion as an artist, and I really loved that. And I also loved how she used that to try and find her father. I thought that that was a really cool idea. So overall, I gave this book a 5 out of 5 stars. I honestly thought it was just tragically beautiful and an amazing historical fiction. I would highly recommend it. It was just fantastic, and I really think that more people need to know about this genocide, because, I mean, for some reason it just is brushed over in history all the time, but it's an actual thing that happened, and it is really sad. So that's all for today's review. Don't forget to subscribe. I put out new videos every Tuesday and Thursday, and if you wanted to follow me on social media, all that stuff is down below, but basically just search any social media and Hales Hearts NYC and you will find me, because that's my username for all of my social media. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!